Hey, it's Comic Corner time, but we're doing something different this month, and probably every month following. That's right, instead of doing a Comic Corner every week for the weekly pickups that week, I'm going to do it every month, but I'll still show you what I got every week, if you catch my drift. This is going to be July 2nd pickups. Again, thanks to my buddy Daryl at Cyber City Comics. And it's funny, Daryl has a tendency, because some of these comic guys, they put their UPC codes on the back covers. So when Daryl's putting them in, he puts them into the sleeves. He puts them in backwards so that he can scan the UPC when he's putting it through the register. So means every time I do one of these videos, unless I do it before I start shooting, I've got to turn everything around. That's what we like to call in the biz not being prepared. Anyways, got a lot of firsts here. So actually there's a lot. There's only 4 comics this week, but a lot of them are new ones. So issue number 1, very weird retro looking pastel pinky purple RoboCop. You can see his stomach, or well, you can see his insides. Another number 1, part of my favorite comic series, Hack Slash. This is Son of Sam Hain. Another number 1 here from the New York Times best-selling author of World War Z, Max Brooks, Extinction Parade War. And finally, the continuation of one of my favorite films, issue number 2 from Boom Studios. That's Big Trouble in Little China. So that's it for this week. Stay tuned. I'll catch you next week. Welcome to the Comic Corner pickups for July 9th. Or the week of, at least. Pretty big one this time. So, let's get started. Do I have any new ones? Yes, I do. There is at least one new title not yet mentioned in any previous Comic Corners. But first up, getting some zombies in Vietnam. We're coming back with issue 4 of 68, Rule of War. It's a pretty cool cover, though. I like it. Next up, number 4 of a really weird crossover event. You either like it or you don't. I like them both, so why not Robotech Voltron number 4? And I'll form Voltron. This is a pretty awesome cover. This is issue number 245 of Spawn. Look at that. If you are scared of clowns, I'm not sorry for that at all. Continuing on, My Childhood Love Affair with Larry Hama, issue number 204 of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. There's some carnage or something. People are hurt. Who knows what's going on? Issue number 4. Skynet has returned yet again in the Terminator Enemy of My Enemy. Yeah, that was a weird gun noise. Continuing on, 7 of 12. Terminator Salvation, The Final Battle. That's 2 Terminator titles this week. Crazy. I like this cover better than the other one, though. And finally, the new title, something I didn't know about, but when I saw it, I checked it out and was like, I want to read that. So, issue number 1. I don't know if it's a limited series yet or not. I don't know anything about it, but it is called Spread. That's pretty gruesome. I like it. I like it a lot. So, yeah. That's pickups for this week. On to the next. Hello and welcome to the Comic Corner pickups for July 16th. I don't know why I'm saying hello and welcome to Comic Corner at this point. Anyways, pickups for July, the week of July 16th. It's actually a very large one. First off, comic shop news. I don't normally get the comic shop news, and I don't think I asked for it. I think they just put it in there, but hey, not bad. It's got Vampirella on the front. Actually, I should probably tell you a story about comic shop news maybe another time. On to the pickups. Oh my god, there's so many. Okay. First up, part of the anniversary celebration. This is issue number 25 from Valiant of Harbinger. Normally I would say that is a good cover, but you know what? You see this matchup all the time, so it's not like you're looking at the cover and going, oh my god, that's amazing, I can't wait to read that. No, you're looking at it going, again. Yeah. Next up, number 9, part of the Armor Hunters. This is Valiant's Unity, so 2 Valiant titles. Number 11 from Boom Studios, a series that I'm absolutely loving, Clive Barker's Next Testament. Again, I say it every time, if you're into Clive Barker at all, you know, the guy behind Hellraiser, and you gotta read this. You gotta read this. If you're into reading and you're into his books, I don't care if you're into comics or not, that's the only way to read that story, and it's totally worth it. Next, a new one here from Steve Niles, a man who is well known to the comic horror community. This is number 1 from Dynamite. It's Army of Darkness. Ash gets hitched. What? Ash is getting married. Well, not from the looks of it on that cover. Never goes his way, does it? Poor old Ash. Continuing on. With our essentially weekly dose of the Cross, this is Badlands issue 57, and I don't think there's anything good coming of that situation right there. That is 2 little ladies who are about to get something shoved in every hole they have, and as crude as that sounds, that's what Crossed is. The Crossed is a very, very disturbing book. This is the... What is this one? I don't know what this one is. I think I know what it is. I will put this off to the side. Here is, and I love the way this is done. This is the cover is amazing. Issue number 1, year 0. They're calling it the X-Files Mystery Magazine. That. Now you'll notice they got fake creasing in here, and that's on the cover. Yeah, that's a fake price sticker. It's the sub-variant edition. See, it's over the 15 cents. I love that. It's such a good cover. You know, harkening back to, it was like an old timey-wimey issue from way back when, something like maybe from the Tales from the Crypt era or something like that. Yeah, just I think it's, well, I mean, it's something that's been done before, but it is what it is. And next up is the issue I like, well, the cover I like the best. This is issue number 36, Life with Archie. This is the, like Death of Archie stuff. I like this one because it's like a Life magazine cover, essentially. So, yeah, poor old Archie. He got whacked. Well, he didn't get whacked on purpose, but whatever. You're gonna have to. Well, yeah, honestly, you can find out the whole thing online. There's no point in me telling you about it, but I'd say look it up and read it. But you don't need to because the information's online. Next up, issue number 36 from IDW. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Digging that cover. That's a pretty good cover. I like the art's kind of old school there. Coloring's old school. And it looks different. It looks like something I haven't seen before. And then finally, some back issues that I happened to miss. Issues 11, 12, and 13 from the Ex Filios Season 10. There's 11. There's 12. And there's 13. And, yeah, I'm just going to double check these because these were ordered in special. I don't think they went to second print, but you never know. First printing, okay. Because I have ordered stuff in the past, and he's gotten me a second print. I don't know that he just didn't notice it before or whatever, but I don't like second printings. I mean, if I'm going to pay the same amount of money, I might as well get the first printing. Especially when it's not that at a print. Like, I can understand, sure, 6 months down the road, 7 months down the road, fine. And, I mean, these ones are back issues, if the first printing wasn't available, whatever, I'd have to go track it down, but, yeah. In this case, it looks like, it picked up 11, and it was a first printing, so the other one should be. I'll find out eventually, I know. But, yeah. That's it. Pickups for this week, July 16th. So, without further ado, on to the next one. It's time for the comic pickups for July 23rd, which is Batman's birthday. So happy birthday, Batman! I'll get you next time. So, let's see what kind of goodies I got this week. It's actually a pretty big week. Not gonna lie. Got quite a few things here. First up is Batman's birthday comic. Free issue of Detective Comics number 27, special edition. I don't know anything. I don't know, he just gave it to me for free, so I wasn't gonna say no. Got a comic shop news. I don't normally get these, but it says G.I. Joe on the front. I like G.I. Joe. Shit didn't have a rip. I'll have to read that. Next up is another thing for free. It's Vertigo Defy 2014 free preview. Just to look at all the Vertigo titles available currently or coming up. And then next we got number 14 of season 10 of the X-Files, and that's kind of a creepy cover, but I don't know, I'm not really buying it. One thing I love, number 4 for the final quest of ElfQuest. Oh, I love me some ElfQuest. Honestly, I think the ElfQuest, the resurgence of ElfQuest have gotten me back into fantasy. And I just, like the Merlin, watching Merlin and Game of Thrones, and not that I wouldn't watch Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones is awesome, but, like Merlin, the fact that I picked that up, I got, just got back into that whole fantasy kick, and I kind of want to start picking up, like, I know this is comics, but I want to start picking up, like the Blu-rays for Lady Hawk and well, I have Legend on DVD, but I want to get, Legend and I just watched Labyrinth the other day, and yeah, stuff like that. I need to get Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I gotta get that, you know. Just some good, you know, fantasy movies. I could watch Lord of the Rings again. Yeah, I watch it every year. Usually at Christmas time. But anyways, back to the comics. Number 6, the variant cover for Afterlife with Archie Comics. Got Sabrina the Teenage Witch on there in the front. If this is number 6, I'm definitely missing some. And finally, variant cover to number 37, the completion of the Death of Archie from Life with Archie Comics. It was a toss-up between this cover, which has, you know, Betty and Veronica kissing Archie sort of in faded tones, and then you got Jughead essentially at the Archie's tombstone, you know, saying goodbye to his friend the way he, you know, the only way he knows how, and that's, you know, eating a burger type thing. It's got the you know, finished milkshake on the top. But it was between this cover and one where it was a tree, and then it had Betty and Veronica kind of on either side, sort of leaning against it, and then on it had, you know, B and A and V plus A carved into the tree. And it was between those two, but I kind of went with... the reason why I went with this one, even though I liked the look of the one with the tree better, I went with this one because it had both the elements. I liked the elements of the two girls sort of, you know, mourning over Archie, and that the way it looked, you know, of them, because you know, Archie is essentially, it was always that trio, the love triangle of the Betty, Veronica, Archie thing going on, right? So, you know, having Archie die, I think that was one of the things I really wanted to capture. But at the same time, you know, it's kind of in this cover, you know, with them faded up top, and then having them both here in black mourning. But the problem with the one where it's just the girls and stuff, where's his good pal Jughead? And I like the thought and the idea behind, you know, the girls are obviously prim and proper, and they're you know, doing proper, paying their respects at the funeral type thing, whereas Jughead's just like, you know what, I'm gonna share a burger, one last burger with my friend. And that really, you know, that really, you know, it was speaking to me, so I went with this cover instead. So yeah, rest in peace, Archie. Not that you've really gone away, you're just out of the Life with Archie books. But you know what? It means you can come back now in the afterlife with Archie. You can die and come back as a zombie. Of course, there's the other Archie series as well, which are still going on, but whatever. The fact that they killed you off, you know, Archie is a long time running staple of comics, so I had to get those couple of issues and pay tribute that way. So yeah, that's all my comic pickups. So Diet Pepsi. Sure, it has some kind of slogan I can go off on right now, but I can't think of it. But yeah, anyways, that's the comic pickups. It's the death of Archie. It's the Batman's birthday. Do they have anything in common? Let me know down below. But I believe there's one more. Yes, there's one more pickup this month. So, see you in the next installment. Continuing on with Comic Corner, this is the final pickup portion for July. This is my pickups for the week of July 30th. 21st? Yes, 30th. And we've got a mixed bag, some usuals, some semi-new introducing a number one, and a trade paperback. I picked up a trade paperback this week. So, starting it off, one of my favorite series, this is issue number 58 of Crossed Badlands. Cover is meh, whatever. Nothing spectacular there. Number 18, this is Ghostbusters Mass Hysteria Part 6 and Vigo. You may remember him from Ghostbusters Part 2. This is number 1 of Max Brooks' Extinction Parade War. Gotta check. I think there might have been an Extinction Parade before that. I don't remember if I was buying it or not. Forget these things. Next up, continuing on, one of my favorite author, though I don't think he's actually written this. It's from his original works. That's Clive Barker's Nightbreed number 3. Yeah, it's one of those things. You know what? If you're gonna do a Clive Barker comic, because Clive Barker is a writer and he is an artist, I'd say if you really want to sell and you really want to make it collectible, have him at least write the story, adapt that story for comics, because it's a different format, and that way he'll get a writing credit on it at least, and then have him do artwork for the covers, that matches his story, because he can do it. In fact, he can do an entire painting in a few hours. I've seen him do it live. So, and he could have easily painted that. That's something he can do. Another number 1 with a cover that harkens back to the 1990s Valiant. Also from Valiant, this is Armor Hunters number 1 Harbinger with a chromium cover. I don't know if you can see that. See how shiny it is? Yeah, good old chromium. And finally, the trade paperback that I picked up. Couldn't get it before the movie, but now that I've seen the movie, I can get it and read it. And that is Snowpiercer. So, yeah, I had actually asked about the hardcovers, if he had those, and what was the price. And there's the price I paid for it. But he had this there when I went into to pick it up, my comics. So I went, why not? Whatever. It's only $15. I just want to read it essentially. Though I really dig those covers. A lot better than this one. This one kind of more towards the movie. These ones are very much more towards comics and printed art. So, yes, that is it for July. July is come and it's almost over. So, next Comic Corner you see with relation to pickups will be at the end of August or beginning of September with all my pickups for August. So, stay tuned. Keep watching the channel. Until the next one, take care.